Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of the special edition MindShift video series. Here is Dimitri Wakov. And first of all, as you know, the purpose of MindShift is to help you create these atomic shifts in your mind, which are going to help you to live your life with more satisfaction, more love, more connection, and more prosperity. Today, as I said, is a special edition Mindshift, and I'm going to have a co-host. Her name is Laura Petrauskaite, and she's a dear friend of mine and also a great, amazing brand manager. So I'm going to give the word to her to introduce our first um, person who we are going to have in our special edition of Mindshift. Welcome, first, Laura.
Okay. Hey, Dimi, and hi, Vitalijus, and hi, everyone. Thank you for this beautiful short introduction. And now I have an honor, really, I mean it, to introduce our guest, Vitalijus, whom I actually met very, very recently, thanks to LinkedIn. And the first connection we had was absolutely brilliant. And I remember sitting thinking to myself, I want to know more of what this person knows. I was super, super fascinated. So Vitalijus is an entrepreneur. He's a turnaround management consultant expert. And at the same time, he's someone super, super passionate about sleep. As he says himself, he's a sleep biohacker and geek. Smiley. And what was very interesting to me as well is that Vitalijus not only, as I understood, has read a lot, has watched a lot, has listened a lot, but also he has experimented a lot with sleep and different sleep hacks, as he says himself. So I think that's a little introduction from my side. And Vitalio, now the show is yours. And I guess the first good question from my side would be is why sleep? Why this passion? Where that comes from?
Thank you, Laura, for the introduction. Thank you, Dimi. Also, it is really big pleasure for to participate and to have this podcast. To answer your question, in general, I have several roles in my personality. One role is related with the business, with the entrepreneurship, and etc. For example, I spent around 10 years in sleeping product companies. I was working in basically around Europe. I was working in Lithuania, in Turkey, in Hungary, in different companies and etc. So of course, sleep topic was always somewhere near me. But from other hand, approximately 6 years ago, I had some health challenges because I was super workaholic. I was this kind of old type leader who was always saying that sleep is only for weak guys. Now you need to spend as much hours, for work, and then sleep is like a waste of time. So but then suddenly, I had some issues with my health, with some kind of panic attacks. My weight was 40 kilograms more bigger than right now.
Wow.
Me, I had several serious knee operations and injuries and etc. So then I started really to go deep to this health topic, and in general, I'm not interested only about sleep. I'm interested also about anti-aging. This is the, let's say, new trend right now, and one of the tools of anti-aging is sleep, but also there are other things like inflammation, like glucose control, and etc. And about 6 years, I'm really testing on myself a lot of things, not only related with sleep. For example, even now, if you can see, I have this device on my arm. This device is like a small needle, and it's 24/7 glucose measurement machine, which is connected with my iPhone, and it's always showing what is my glucose level. Not because I have problems with diabetes or whatever. I have really good blood, let's say, levels, but I really want to optimize myself. I want to understand what kind of foods are bad for me, what kinds of foods are increasing or dropping my glucose levels, and etc. So 6 years in a row, I am doing this kind of experiments, not only in sleep sector. That's why I am belonging to this biohackers, let's say, community, those guys who are testing a lot of things and then measuring, and then in general about interested about health and sleep. Of course, one of the biggest experiments are related with sleep, and I maybe we will talk later, but yeah, I experimented huge amount of things. Started from, I know, eating kiwi before bed, ending to some kind of cryotherapy, vagus nerve massages, and other things.
Yeah, thank you, Vitalijus, for sharing. Actually, it sounds that you are really into these things, like not only sleep but everything else. It sounds that you are like into optimizing yourself as a topic, and sleep is one of the parts of that. But my question is, before we go into the general questions, of course, and questions which everyone asks about sleep, I would like to know. You share that there are several new findings related to sleep. Can you share one of them, for example, something really new which is coming right now? Because I guess it will be interesting for people to learn about it.
One of them, for example, just in my mind, first thought is vagus nerve stimulation. We have vagus nerve, which is connected from brains to our let's say bottom, and this nerve is responsible for let's say insomnia, for digestion processes, and a lot of other things. Now a lot of researchers are doing studies for this. And for example, if you have migraine or you have serious head pains, for example, if you have cluster head pains, which is one of the biggest, I mean, it's like a 10 times stronger pain than migraine. So usually you cannot sleep with this kind of pain. You are waking up in the middle of the night, and etc. And this vagus nerve stimulation is really helping to deal with these things. So that's why, for example, now a lot of researchers, a lot of devices, a lot of things are coming in this field, in this vagus nerve stimulation.
So how do we have some findings? How can you stimulate this nerve? I mean, what do we do?
There are some very simple devices. They are connected or somewhere in your neck, or even if it's medical devices, they are connected in your ears. It's like a AirPads, something like that, very similar looking, and then they in some kind of electromagnetic impulses, and then this is how they are stimulating this vagus nerve. And like I said, it can help with migraine. It can help even with increasing the digestion processes, and etc. So it's very interesting topic. I have one friend. He's working in Lithuanian medical community, especially with this topic. And he will borrow me a few these devices, so I will try in my next experiments to see what will be the effect for the sleep. I don't have any problems with migraine or etc., but I just want to see, is it really increasing your quality of sleep, your duration of sleep, and etc.
Thank you. That's interesting. I haven't heard about it actually. Yeah.
No, very interesting. And I think we live in the very lucky times because we have so many developments all over the place. But probably they also happen because there is a reason. And I really liked. I mean, I could connect. I think the way you started, Vitalijus, when you said that you used to be a person working a lot and thinking sleep is a waste of time, and that's where I was like, because I used to say, you will sleep when you die. What do you mean sleep? As in, not being extreme, of course I was sleeping and I love sleeping, but I was always thinking, if I even had a saying like, life is more interesting than my dreams. But I have to say, I came from that to a period now, maybe thanks to the quarantine, God knows, but to the period now where I started valuing sleep much, much more. So I would be, I think, very interested to hear now, the classic questions like, why is sleep important? Why there are people who say it's a waste, and why you think it's not,
Yeah, I mean, just very simplify, if you will, let's say, look to your body as a telephone, the sleep is like a charger. So if you will not charge correctly or fully during the night, you will not spend enough time during the day, your batteries will be dead, you know. So this is like a simplified version, but in general, there are no, I mean, it's hard to find any functionality or any organs which is not impacted by sleep. I just put some emphasis on several things, but there are plenty of others. For example, one of the things is the hormone production. During the sleep, there are several very important hormones which are releasing. One of the hormones is, for example, growth hormone. It's releasing peak of this growth hormone is during 11 p.m., 3 a.m. between these hours. And for example, this hormone is very important not only for the growing, repairing, and etc. But for example, he's also participating in collagen synthesis. It means everything related with skin, with hairs, nails, and etc. Then, for example, ghrelin and leptin. It's also proven that if you're not sleeping enough or sleeping not so super quality, ghrelin, which is the hormone of fullness, is not releasing enough. So you are eating more calories next day, and it's already proven that you are eating around 400 more calories if you are not sleeping enough or if you are sleeping badly. So one part is hormones. Other parts that during the sleep, and especially deep sleep, this is one of the sleep stages, you are decreasing the toxins, which is quite dangerous. And one of the toxins, for example, is a beta amyloid. This toxin is directly related with Alzheimer. So it means, one more time, if you're not sleeping correctly or sleeping not enough, you are keeping this toxin more and more, and then it can be in the future, it can be big damage for you, because Alzheimer illness is becoming new trend of like a new cancer, because it's becoming more and more people who are dealing. Memory consolidation is also existing during the sleep. For example, what it means consolidation, it means that from short memory you are going to the long memory, so like a save button. Yeah, so during the sleep there exists this save button like in computer, and etc. So a lot of things which is related with your body and your performance in general.
Wow, I haven't. I mean, the good thing I already noticed is that, I mean, there are a lot of people who speak about sleep, but you seem you have a really deep understanding of these things. So that's really interesting for me to listen to. You mentioned these stages of sleep. Something. I mean, everyone who has some watch, like smartwatch, knows that there are some stages there. But would you just very shortly explain about them? How many are there, and what are their importance in sleep?
Yeah, there are several stages of sleep, but two are most important. One stage is deep sleep, and let's say this stage is responsible for your physical recovery. So, for example, glucose regulation, hormone production, you know, this toxin release, and etc. So it's like a physical recovery of your body. And other very important stage is REM. It's like a rapid eye movement stage, the stage where you are dreaming, by the way, and when you are paralyzed. And this stage is responsible for your emotional recovery. So if deep is responsible for physical, so REM is responsible for your emotional recovery. So memory consolidation, some kind of mental things, and etc. And in general, for example, those people who have depression, also the study shows that they have lower amount of REM stage. So both those stages are equally important, and in general, on theory, you need to spend around 50% of your total sleep time in those stages. So for example, if you're sleeping 7 hours, you need to spend 3.5 in both of them. Yeah, like a sum of them. So this is let's say explanation, and both of them are crucially important.
Excuse me, question. Yeah. It sounds very, very interesting. And also because I did once an experiment, not your level of experiment. It was just, I didn't have time to sleep. I had things to do. So I noticed that if I don't sleep well one day, I see zero changes tomorrow. I'm actually more excited because yes, I'm going to do more. If I don't sleep 2 days, I know I haven't slept well, but I don't see any significant changes. The third day for me was the time when I start questioning if I am happy in life. Hence, mood problems, I was completely, it was incredible. So now you mentioned that the part of the two types is responsible for the mood, yeah, for the emotional recovery. How, now maybe a bit of funny question, how do I know if I reach and for how long I reach these phases, and how do I get there without having a watch, as in to know without having a watch, and how can I make sure I reach that?
Yeah, I will answer to this question, but reflect to your situation. For me, is very familiar because there are a lot of people. In general, let's think, that there are a lot of experts who are talking about food. Yeah, like a nutrition specialist. There are a lot of experts who are talking about sport. Yeah, about physical activities. But there are a very small amount of guys who are talking about sleep. And in general, sleep is going always in some kind of third, fourth plan and phase, because people more putting focus on this nutrition and physical activities. But sleep as a tool, can influence badly. Let's say, for example, if you're strictly counting your calories, counting the steps, but you're not counting sleep, then suddenly, because of this ghrelin and etc. hormones, you can eat more, and you will think, why my diet is not working or something. So sleep is very important. But then the question is, why sleep sometimes going to this third or fourth plan? And the answer is in very simple psychological way. Is like you said, Laura. For example, if you will not sleep tonight, probably next night you will sleep because you will be super tired. Yeah. But if you will sleep, let's say 5 hours, yeah, and with this kind of 5 hours approach, you will sleep like for a week, you will adapt. It will be your new reality. You will adapt to this kind of strange, dummy feeling, but you will say that it's normal feeling. It's, it's like a not fresh room effect. When the youngster is in the room, for him seems that the room is very, very fresh air, and then mother is coming and saying, look, guy, I mean, open the windows, your room is, smell is shitty, so sorry for my English. The same is with sleep. You can adapt to 5 hours sleeping, and you will say that it's normal for you. And that's why there are a lot of people in the world who are saying, I'm sleeping normal. I can drink a bunch of caffeine, I can drink alcohol before bed, I don't have any problems, I sleep normal. But they don't realize how better they can sleep and how this will reflect to their performance, productivity, energy levels, and etc. Answering to your this question about how do I know it, mainly, yeah, it's hard. I mean, most accurate way is to go to the medical clinic, and then they will put you this the diodes and etc., and you will measure. But in general, I'm saying very simply, it's like a 15 minutes sleep quality test. 15 minutes. It means if you answer to all these 3 questions, yes, you are sleeping on quality level good. So those 3 questions: are you tired enough during the day that you are going to sleep in 15 minutes, or you need more time to go to sleep? One question. Other question: during the night, are you waking up more than 15 minutes? And the third question: when you woke up in the morning, do you need more than 15 minutes to energetically, without any stimulants, without any super caffeines and etc., go to the day? So if you're answering to those 3 questions, yes, is it okay? I am always in this 15 minutes range. Then, in my opinion, you don't need any of these devices, any of these trackers, or it's Ring, or it's, Fitbit, or whatever you're using. So in general, this is the main, let's say, answer. Of course, there are there are 4 proven quality tests. For example, insomnia test, stop bang test, which is about apnea. But in general, this 15 minutes rule is very simple, and you can test on yourself. Is it enough quality in your sleep?
Okay. 15 minutes rule, I'm gonna try it from tomorrow. Definitely, that's interesting. I have the watch and stuff, but definitely I believe that this kind of test you shared with us, it will be way more to understand. Oh, I was just exactly started thinking. How much time I need in the morning to to start the day in the right way. But uh, last question around this different stages of sleep. It's like a twofold question. First, we know that this sleep, the deep sleep and the REM sleep, they stay in different parts of the night, right? They are not one after the other or something. First of all, can you share a little bit more about that? And then second of all, if you have a problem with deep or REM sleep, can you share some practices we can use to just, in some way make sleep better in these stages? So yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite long question,
Yeah.
big question. But answering to the first part, yeah, in general, in theory, or let's say scientists saying that in the first night, in the first part of the night, you are getting more deep and sleep, and then in the second part, REM. In order to understand it, you just need to understand that there are sleep cycles, like a 90-minute sleep cycle, and during the night, these cycles are repeating each other. So during first part of the night, in this 90-minute cycle, you have more proportion of deep sleep, and bigger proportion of deep sleep, yeah? But it doesn't mean that REM is not exist. It exists, it's just smaller proportion in this cycle. And then in the last, in the second part of the night, in this 90-minute cycle, situation is the opposite. More proportion of REM sleep. So that's why the scientists saying that first night, part is deep and then it's REM. But in general, these cycles exist, and both these stages exist in the same, just in different proportions. Answering to your question, I mean, you cannot basically divide and say there are some specific techniques to increase deep, and there are some specific techniques to increase REM. This is general. This is like in total. There are several things. For example, now the studies showing that we cannot say what is increasing REM, but we can say what is decreasing REM. So, opposite situation, you can manage somehow not to do these things because otherwise you're increasing REM. And those things are several. One is alcohol. Alcohol is basically killing REM completely. I mean, very strongly. Other thing is Valium and Xanax. There are specific drugs which is related with your GABA neurotransmitter. I don't want to go deeper, but the third thing, if you have sleep apnea, it's a very, very heavy illness. Basically, to simplify, it's related with snoring. So if you have snoring, you have a probability to have apnea, and then if you have apnea, you are decreasing your REM. The fourth point is that, in general, lower the duration of your total sleep. Yeah, because if you're, let's say, sleeping 6 hours or 5 hours, mathematically you are getting less REM, because REM is in the second part of the night. So there are several things which is decreasing, and if you want to increase REM, you just need to try not to do this. Yeah, in case of deep sleep, there are several also things, but one of the most important thing is to optimize your melatonin production. Melatonin is basically responsible for your deep sleep stage. So this is one, and the temperature is the second, because in order to go to the deep sleep, your body needs to drop 2 Celsius degrees. It's coming organically, but one more time, for example, if you are in the hot room, yeah, or you covered yourself with some kind of cheap polystyrenic, duvets or bedding sets, you are heating yourself, and you are not allowing your temperature to drop. So there are several things, but in general, we need to look to the total picture of sleep.
Okay.
So maybe now you could give, I mean, you already said a few things that I was, like recording practical, because I'm really always looking for myself and for others, practical little steps I can take, like from tonight, or start doing tonight to feel that my quality of the sleep increases.
Yeah, so let's start from the super basics. I mean, basically, if you will follow those 3 my next suggestions, we cannot go deeper. I mean, it will be enough. I
take your word, Vitalijus.
Yeah. So, but super basics. But it's really, first of all, when you are building the house, you need to build fundament. So this is fundament, yeah. So first you need at least 7 hours of sleep. So 7-8 hours of sleep, you need to track it. Yeah, especially those guys who are tracking steps, you know, calories, you need to track sleep. This is for sure. The duration of sleep, I mean, the trackers don't lie. Yeah, there are cases about quality of sleep. We can tell a little bit more, but duration they don't lie. So first, second is that you need to go to sleep perfectly around 10-11 p.m. This is the best time. If you want more explanations, I can answer later why this time is important. And the third, you need to keep the same routine, same regime, let's say. If it means that, and working days and the weekends the same. So it means that if you're going to bed 10 p.m. and you're waking up 6 a.m., you need to plus minus 1 hour to have the same routine every night, and also on weekends, because there are a lot of situations when on weekends we want to try to compensate, you know, what we didn't get on working days. So those three main things, when you have those three main things, we can go, you know, further, you know, but this is the very, very important. And when I'm presenting about sleep, I'm questioning, you know, to audience, how many of you are following those three? So in general, about 30%. So 1/3 of audiences are following those three basic rules. So first of all, you need to follow these rules, and then, you know, you can dig deeper.
Can I?
Yeah.
It's because I was thinking about myself, of course, because that's from where I think I can understand better the concept. And yeah, I think I pretty much get all these basic three things. But then my challenge starts, or I think for many people it's like that, when you live alone, when you go to bed when you want, you wake up alone to work, there's no one waking up earlier or later, no one going to bed next to you earlier or later. It's much easier than not. So my question would be, like living in the couple, right? Living in the partner situation, which I think, you know, more or less a lot of people are being with family, parents, or partner. How to do it? Because my challenge is I could go to bed at 10 and I would sleep in 15 minutes, no problem. But sometimes I can feel psychologically I can't fall asleep because my brain is saying, maybe your partner will come in 20 minutes and disturb you. In 30 minutes, you will wake up. Psychological problem naturally. How do you do that? How to keep the good quality sleep when it's not only you?
But one more time, it's even, probably we need to go even backwards several steps. When you make priority, I mean, I'm not saying that sleep will be the priority number one in your life, but
No,
now probably for the most of people, sleep is somewhere in 167 priority, or I don't know. I mean, so my message is, let's put higher sleep in the priority. When you have, because, and when you're realizing that sleep is priority because you are performing better next day, because you are more energetical and etc., you are getting like a motives why the sleep is important for me. So whenever you have this priority on your mind, then I mean, of course, all the actions can come. You know, you can agree with your partner. You know, you can set some kind of bed routines. You know, several things what you are doing before night in order to get a better sleep and etc. But everything is starting from this understanding and motivation why the sleep is important for you. I just want to mention one thing, because you are business related guys, and I am talking for a lot of business related guys. You need to see analogy, let's say, to the professional sport guys. So the professional athletes, they are getting huge amount of physical pressure, yeah, and that's why in order to maintain their, let's say, capabilities and etc., they this recovery, physical recovery, or maybe sometimes even physical recovery, but more mental recovery. And that's why those things like meditation, mindfulness, yoga are becoming more popular, and etc. Sleep is one of these tools. You need to take a rest, good rest, in order to be better next day. So this is the main point, and why I'm saying, because I see more and more this kind of new type leaders who are, after work spending time in meditation classes, doing yoga, running marathons, and etc., because they understand that it's returning. So when you're understanding that the recovery is even more important than the job itself, the performance itself, then you're making these things and actions regarding this priority. So maybe blah blah from my side, but I really want to emphasize on the priority and the prioritization of the sleep.
Yeah, that's great, man. I have a question which I think everyone asks themselves, especially people who cannot fall asleep very easily. So I have a question. There are a lot of these sayings that you have to count, or you have to count sheep and stuff. And everyone has their this is maybe most common. But there are other stuff. There's some people say you need to read literature, read something, or maybe watch something, whatever. So what do you think can help people to fall asleep when they can't?
Yeah, so probably the best answer would be that you need to have your sleep routine. Routine, you need to have like 3-4 actions what you are doing before bed. I will give some examples right now of this sleep routine, but just important thing, you don't need to follow this routine every night. But whenever you feel that you have like probably bad night, or next day is very important for you, and you want to be refreshed and etc., you can follow this routine. There are several things. For example, I'm always saying that this routine is like an acronym of numbers: 10, 3, 2, 1. What it means is like what you are doing 10 hours before bed, 3 hours before bed, 2 hours, and 1 hour before bed. So the first point is 10 hours before bed, you are cutting the disturbances of sleep. And there are several of disturbances of sleep, but the most important is alcohol and caffeine. So but now it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, so if 10 hours, so basically after lunch is the last coffee. Basically after lunch is the last coffee when you can, if you want really quality, let's say, sleep. So alcohol and caffeine cutting, yeah. Now 3 hours before bed, you are doing some kind of dinner, and we can go deeper because there are also science what kind of food and etc. you need to eat. But in general, the rule is not to overeat yourself, not to overdrink, because you will wake up in the middle of the night and to go to the toilet and etc. Don't eat a lot of carbohydrate food, heavy food, and etc. So some light, let's say, dinner. There are even specific foods which is very good for the sleep. If you want, I will tell you later about this. Then some physical activity also after or before dinner. It not, I mean, you can go just for the walking for the 30 minutes, to in the fresh air. It will be enough. You don't need to have some marathon or whatever. So then what to do 2 hours before bed? It's really crucial. It's like a game changer. You are cutting your blue light sources. So basically devices and etc. If you cannot cut because you need to work and etc., you can download the screeners, the dark mode screeners. There are, for example, on computer you can download Flux software. It's making your screen darker based on the sunset. On the phone you can put the sunset to sunrise this regime, and also the screen becoming darker and etc. But in general, you need to minimize the blue light sources, so all the LED lights and etc. So 2 hours before bed, try to do this. Also, very important part is your bedroom. You need to guarantee darkness complete and coolness cooling effect. I mean, perfect temperature is 18.5 Celsius in your bedroom. So you need to cool down. So for example, open the window, or if you have clima, it's perfect. You can just set 18.5 and it will be perfect. So this is like a 2 hours before bed. And then 1 hour before bed, you are making some kind of stress management exercise, because stress, or in other words, cortisol, it's an antagonist or enemy of melatonin, this sleep or darkness hormone. Yeah. So more cortisol, less melatonin, and reverse. So there are a bunch of these stress releasement exercises, but for example, you can make some kind of breathing techniques. You can hot tub, or some candles, or some yoga, or some meditation, whatever you want. But you don't need to follow exactly what I'm saying, but you just need to understand the structure. Yeah, that cut the disturbances. Yeah, then some kind of dinner plus physical activity. Then blue light blocking and some kind of darkness and cooling effect in your room, and then some kind of stress management things. This is universal, basic. Okay, not fundamentals, but it's a little bit higher, but it's also basic things. And if you are following this and you still have some problems with sleep, then there are more details, and then you need to have more personalized, tailor-made approach, because probably there are some specific things about your lifestyle, about your, I don't know, genetics, about your chronotypes, and other things.
Vitalijus, just to be sure about the blue light, so you mean all kind of screens, so no TV, no computer, no phone?
TV, for example, because if you are looking like normal people to the TV, not like this, it's not super bad, because the distance is quite far, because the most important is the light in your eyes. So TV screens, there are studies showing that, yeah, it's harmful effect, but it's not super effect. But what is problem with all these devices, that we are quite closely looking to them. I mean, I'm talking about phones and telephones. But so the logic is like this: better is not to have at all 2 hours before bed. But these covers, these flags and sunreds, these sunset covers, it's better than nothing. Yeah. So if you cannot avoid, then use it with these covers, and also the same with the lights. For example, in the evening, my wife already, first when I started my experiments, my wife looked to some experiments a little bit strange, because I was listening like ocean waves during the nights, these YouTube sounds. I was putting a lot of flowers, specific flowers in my bedroom. She was, I put the red light, this lamp in my bed. I mean, so, and one of the first things I said, now from 8 o'clock, we are closing all the lights, watch TV, closing all the lights, So first it was strange. Now it was like, what to do? But now we are like, it's normal for us. Of course, if you're going to the toilet, we are opening the lights. I mean, in the toilet, everything is okay. But in general, like from 8 o'clock or from 9 o'clock, depend when we are going to sleep, it's completely dark.
But what do you mean closing all the lights? I mean, like the lamps as well, everything?
Yeah, exactly.
And why is that? Is it considered as a blue light? I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, I mean, in general, blue, green light, it's confusing the brain, and it's confusing the circadian rhythm, and the brain are thinking, oh, look, so is it right now the night, or is it right now the day? It's even proven that, for example, if you're reading the book, normal book, versus you're reading the book via iPad for 1 hour. So for 1 hour, you're reading the book via iPad, your melatonin production decreases by 30%, and melatonin delays. Usually melatonin starts to production about 8-9 p.m. But if you're reading with the blue light, some kind of sources, it's delaying. So it means like you are in the mini jet lag. It means that you are like, I don't know, in this stage where something is really confusing your brain, and etc. So all the light sources in the evening is bad. But the total difference situation in the morning. In the morning, you need to get a sunlight because it's also crucially important. One of the first things what you need to get is the light. But in evenings, it's different situation. You need to cut all the sources of the light, basically.
Super interesting. And can I, Dimi, just one thing, because I think I love these like 4-step rules, you know, the number rules. It's easy, it's practical, it's wonderful. And I don't know, in my experience, I feel we speak much more about morning routines than evening routines, which morning routines are equally important. But I'm very happy to hear also evening routines. But now my next question would be, um, something I'm interested in a lot is how to wake up correctly, because you have people that set alarm half an hour before they have to wake up and they love snoozing it. You have people that jump out of bed because they put alarm in 1 kilometer away, so they make sure they wake up to get it. And you have people who hear alarm and then they start breathing exercise. How to wake up correctly, not to have problems, because sometimes I feel if I don't wake up correctly, I can have a headache, which I didn't have when I opened my eyes. How to do it correctly?
I'm not using personally alarms in the morning anymore, about 2 years already. I'm using in the evenings. I'm putting alarm when I need to go to sleep. Yeah, but it's not joke. It's a reminder for me when I need to set up or bedroom this bed routine. Yeah, those 2-3 steps, or when I need really to go to the bed and then 15 minutes to go to sleep. So I mean, answer probably would be that you need to set this 7-8 hours. Yeah. In time, and to set, let's say, alarm in the morning exactly at this period. It means at 7-8 hours. Don't use snooze button. Snooze is very bad. 2 reasons why it's bad. One reason is that you are decreasing your REM sleep. Remember, I said that REM is in the second part of the night. Yeah. And imagine you're snoozing like 1 hour before waking up. Every 10 minutes snooze. You're waking up from this cycle, from this 90-minute cycle, you're waking every time, and you're losing REM. And one more time, you're, going to this whole cycle. So it's bad for you, for REM, and also bad for your cardiovascular system, because it's also proven by scientifics that, imagine you're waking up, all the system is already driven, and then you're sleeping. Waking up, sleeping, it's bad for your cardio, machine, let's say. So my main point is that you need to set up these 7-8 hours, go to sleep and wake up. And if you are waking up and you're feeling a little bit dummy and etc., it is signal that your quality is not perfect. It means that you need or to next day to have routine before bed, this kind of actions what I talked before, yeah, or next day you need to be very active. It means to get a sunlight, to have some physical things and etc., in order to have tiredness and better sleep next evening.
Wow, great, man. I have just some technical questions around the sleep. First of all, I'm using for a certain amount of time earplugs and also sleep mask. I want to ask you, what is your opinion about this? This is the first part of the question. And, all of this, stuff which you put on your ears or in your eyes. And the second part is there a proper position for sleep which can help us sleeping better? I've heard, for example, that if you sleep on the left side, it's not good for the heart. But in general, yeah, this is the 2 parts.
Yeah. So regarding first question, yeah, darkness is very important. So if you cannot have some curtains who are covering all your bedroom, the sleep mask is very good solution. For me personally, it's not working because of my eyes. In the morning I feel a little bit sensitive regarding eyes when they start to see the light and etc. So for me personally, it's not good. But in general, the sleep mask is a good approach if you don't have like a curtains or I mean. Small in the room. Can you remind me about what it was?
Dimi, you're muted.
Aha, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just I'm back. I was
The second part of the question. Can you remind me?
The second part? So the first one is about the air plugs and that.
Yeah.
And the second part is about
sleeping position.
About sleeping
position. Yeah, clear.
You can use.
Yeah, I'm not so super believer. Yeah, there are some kind of analysis and studies about this left, right sleeping position. I can say I'm not super believer in this. What I know exactly, because I worked 10 years in this mattress and other product industry. If you are laying down on your stomach, it's not so super good because of the muscles tension and etc. No big difference between laying on the back or laying on the side. It's up to you how you feel better. The most important part when you're laying on some kind of mattress or whatever, that your spine will be on the straight line. So the same like you're standing or sitting, the same must be on when you're laying down. The spine must be straight line. So know some kind of things, because otherwise there are coming big tensions in your muscles and in tissues and etc.
Is it true that I mean, you've been working in this industry, so maybe is it true that it really depends on the mattress? I mean, what kind of mattress you have and how much one mattress can increase the actually sleep quality?
Yeah, of course. During my experiments, I tried to sleep on the floor. So it was.
That's good.
Yeah, but I wanted to understand what is the impact of this surface. So it was terrible experience because of joints. The shoulder, the hips was in big pain and etc. So, but I'm always saying you can have the best mattress in the world, but sometimes it will not help you to sleep good. For example, if you're in the hot room with the super best mattress in the world, you will not sleep very good. So the mattress, yeah, it's important, but it's not like a game changer. It's not like a super crucial. Very important. There are several things. For example, if your partner is waking up in the night during the night, yeah, and you are waking up also because of movements of your partner and movements of the mattress, it's a signal that your mattress is not good quality and you are waking up because of this. Yeah, this is one thing. Other thing, if you are waking up in the middle of the night because of hotness, yeah, because you're using, I don't know, some kind of memory foam materials in the mattress, or you're using some kind of polyester bedding sets and etc., it's also not good, because like I said, your temperature must drop in order to go to the deep sleep. So there are several things. In general, yes, the surface, the mattress is important, but it's not like darkness and the temperature of the room is probably even more important than the mattress itself. So yeah.
Cool. What you can say, we can say is, Vitalijus, we are approaching the end of the session today of the interview, and first of all, I would like to say that we will have you again. Definitely, I think we have a lot of more things to share, and of course, I'm sure that we're going to meet again in this or another setting. But I would like to thank you for being here with us and share all of this wisdom. Honestly, I've been not researching, is very big word for that, but I've been interested in this topic for a very long time, and you really shared many things which I haven't heard and I haven't thought about. So I just want to share that your value was tremendous today, and thank you for that. So before we end the session, I would like to ask you a question. I mean, you shared a lot of practices, a lot of step-by-step processes, but if you can share your advice for people in 2 sentences, which they can use immediately today, what would you say? Like the most important for you, like 2 sentences, do that today.
Put sleep on the priority list in the app somewhere. Start to measure sleep parameters, especially if you're measuring health, other parameters, and create your own sleeping routine. This is fundamentals. When you will do this, you can go dig deeper based on your specific situation. But this bedroom routine, several nights, evenings before sleep, it's very good. And remember this 10, 3, 2, 1. You can create your own routine, but managing these principles and then really see how you are feeling next day. When you are refreshed and ready to perform at your max.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much, Vitalijus. It's for me. I was thinking that probably we couldn't find a topic that would touch every person more than sleep, really. And to me personally, as I mentioned, I've been experimenting or observing my life in terms of in what period I sleep more, I sleep less, what works for me, what doesn't. And I have to say that once I went to Tony Robbins event, and after it was Unleash the Power Within, the type of events, 3 days, crazy event, my only conclusion was sleep more. Can you imagine? Do you think I did it? No, I didn't do it after that event. It had to, I think I had to receive some changes in my life to realize. So Tony didn't help me. Some, life experiences did. And now I really prioritize sleep more. And thanks to you, it was an opportunity for me, for you, Dimi, and I guess for the rest of people who are watching to, get more practical tips. And if every person takes out 1, 2, maximum 3 things out of this conversation that we had that they will do differently, I'm sure the world will be a better place and everyone will have better lives. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that again. And I would say that even people listen to the last 2 sentences he said in the end. That would be, I think, enough for them to increase their sleep with big percentage. I'm sure about this. So before we go, I would like to ask you, where do people can find you? Like if they want to talk about this with you, or maybe just, can hang out with you and know where you are and are interested in what you do, where is the best place for you to be connected?
At this moment, as I'm, let's say, more educating about sleep Lithuanian audience, I'm doing it in Lithuanian language. So for those who are listening from Lithuania, you can follow me on the Geras Miegas. It's like a good sleep Facebook page. It was created. And by the way, in March, we will make a 30-day challenge. So every day it will be like a practical tip and etc. So it will be very good, very, very practical thing. So follow this. For those who are English speaking guys, the best way probably to follow me on LinkedIn. I'm also posting, in majority of cases I'm posting also in Lithuania, but I will post, I'm posting also sometimes in English. But always you can ask me some questions, write the message and etc. So yeah, you can find me on Vitalijus Majorovas LinkedIn page. Maybe you can share it after that. Yeah.
Yes, we'll tag it for sure.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Vitalijus, for the time with us and with all the tips. And what we can say is we're going to talk again and see you soon.
Yeah.
Video.
Absolutely. It was awesome. Thank you.
Bye.